Righto, hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to be drawing and painting this gorgeous cassowary. So I am going to start by drawing I'll do the background first. I'm going to mark in the background, so I'm going to go background colour and I might make it that sort of a green colour. Now I'm going to go to my, I might even go, which pencil am I going to use? I'm going to use my smooth sketch, that one right there. And I'm going to draw in with a dark line to begin with. I've got all my colours sort of pre-marked out. I might even draw the background with a dark blue, or with a light blue actually, a light blue to start with. And then I can work my way around. So I'm going to start just by drawing the shape of his head. Just get the beak on, like that. All right. Thought I'd try and give you a different angle today as well. So I've got the camera over there so you can sort of see what I'm doing with the pen a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to rough in the shapes. Now he's got his beak and his crest are the same height. So his crest goes to the length of his beak and the back to the top, a bit higher than that. So about there. Then I follow the angle, look at the angle, just looking at shapes. Then come back down, back part of his head. And his neck comes down the back there. I will adjust this. It's not quite the right dimensions, but that's okay. And then his neck comes down on that sort of a shape. Okie doke. I might make that pencil a bit thicker. There we go, that's a bit better. Bit more visible. Now, it's probably about the same width as his beak. So I've got it about the right width. So if I measure there to there, I've got to take it back a bit more. A bit more like that. A bit more of a point at the top. Like that. And then that's the basic sort of shape. Now his eye, I'll draw the front of his beak. Comes up. Well, not his beak, that thing on the top of his head. Forgot what it's called. It's got a special name, but I forgot what it is. So then his eyes further back and down. Just mark that in. Change the angle of that part of his beak. Just getting sort of things where I want them roughly. He's got these beautiful black feathers are down there. What's a she, this one, I think. Because she doesn't have they've got like a turkey dangly thing on the front, so the boy ones. So that's how I can tell this one's a girl, because she doesn't have that. So now I'm going to erase some of these excess lines and figure out exactly where I want. Now I'm not happy with this shape of the beak there. Looking at the angles of things now. So her beak comes more down like that. Nostrils there, and then her beak comes down to the front more. And then it goes all the way back under her eye, like that. Okay, that's pretty good. Happy with that. To the end. I did this picture in watercolour the other day. I'm going to erase some of these other lines and get everything roughly where I want it. Now I've got to change the angle of her neck. Not happy with that, so it comes down more of a taper like that. And the bottom of her gullet comes back behind her eye almost. So once I get the basic drawing down, I start to adjust and move things just little by little, just checking the shapes against other shapes like that. Okay, looking all right. Now, I think I need to drop that eye down a fraction. The eye's in the wrong spot. Got to drop it down because I notice her eye is sort of more towards there. A bit bigger than I've got it. Very round. There we go. That's a bit better. I'll just erase the little lines around it. that I've got squiggling around in there. Righto. So that's the base drawing done. I'm happy with that. That's close enough. Draw the nostril in like that. She's got lots of patterns and shapes and lots of fun things going on. Okay, there we go. So I'm quite happy with that, I think. So now I'm going to start with the top part, and I'm going to go in. It's going to block in. Actually, I'll go another layer. I'll start the colours on the second layer. I'm going to block in this. So I'll just go right around the outside of it. The crest. Go around the back of her head like that. To make sure all the lines are touching, and then drag and drop, and that didn't work. That never works. I don't know why it doesn't work for me, but it never works for me. So I'm just going to go back to my recents, go to simple round, and I'm just going to fill that in. Oops, make my brush a bit bigger, and I'm going to fill that in. Work light to dark, exactly the same as if I was doing traditional. Exactly the same. Actually, I'm going to make that a bit bigger. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Actually, I'll try and do the drag drop with this line. This line's a bit thicker. Sometimes it just doesn't like the simple little lines. So I'll just do that. I'll just go around the whole edge like that. Then I'll drag and drop. Yep, that worked. Okay, we're good. Now I've got to just smudge all that out. So get rid of those lines. Like that. It doesn't seem to like thin lines, that's all. All right, fill that right in. I can get rid of the underdrawing towards the end. Okay, so I'm going to drop in the neck now, but I'm just going to do that with a light blue. I'll go that sky sort of blue colour initially. And I'm just going to cut around the eye. Anywhere I can see that this blue goes. Go up there a bit, then down and around the neck. Like that. Just follow, I'm just looking at the shapes. For now, just looking at shapes. And then I'm going to go around here, around the cresty thing, and then down there and drag and drop in that light blue. Okay, I'll tidy up these edges. Like that. Come in and around. All right, continue on. Come around here. Just getting these little lines around the edge that I don't like, so I'm just getting rid of them. All right, just thickening that all up, making it more even. Now, he's got the red. I'll use this red. And just come into this bit here. So I'm just blocking in the colours as I see them. And then I'll drag and drop like that. Tidy up those edges again. Like that. Okay. And then go with the black. And just drag and drop. Like that. It's sort of a deep dark purple. It's not really a black. And I'm just going to take that to the edge of the page and take that to the edge of the page. I have to shrink my page. Oh, look at that. There we go. Take that down there, then drag and drop. And that fills that in. See, that's a really dark purpley brown. That's good. It's not a true black. I'm just going to go around those edges a bit. I will add feathery texture in. Now, I'm going to do a grey on the beak. I'm going to go in this sort of stronger grey. I'm just going to go around the edge of his beak, or her beak rather. Around the eyeball, around the nostril, then drag and drop. There we go. I'll do the bottom beak as well. Like that. And drag and drop. Okie doke. So that's pretty much blocked in. I will smooth things out a little. So I'm just going to go over that with my little blendy tool. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my soft airbrush, and I'm going to start on the comb at the top first, and I'm going to go into this top part Oops, need to make my brush a little bit smaller. Well, not that small, a bit bigger than that. There we go. And I'm going to go in and start to mark out the darker tones. So sort of going to a middly dark brown. There'll be one darker tone on top of this and the highlights. So I fill all that. I'll blend it a bit. Get my blending tool. All right. Then I'm going to take that down. Just going to mark in just roughly where I see these shapes. You can see that pattern goes all over the top of that. Having a look. Goes up there like that. I'm going to erase that bit. Oops, didn't want to do that. I'll just blend it. There we go. Just blend it. Change it a little bit. We'll go light over the top in a minute. Just get some of these sort of shapes. Sort of like drawing a map of the world on the top of this thing. Okay. And he's dark through there. So I'm just going to fill in the darker bits, and I can come back and change it again in a minute. Add little flecks of the lighter colours through when I need to. He's got a little bit at the back, bit at the very back. Oh, no, that didn't work. I'm just going to block that in like that. There we go. Has a bit of a darker colour just down here. A little bit lighter around the edge. Goes to the back. Okay. Happy with that-ish. Just for a start, it's the beginning. And now I'm going to go back with my lighter colour. And I'm going to add back in some of these shapes. Like that. Looking at the rough shapes. Like that. Go the brown again. Up to there. That's okay. Now I'm going to go a stronger brown. I might have to go down to these browns about 4 palettes down, but that's fine. And then I'm going to go this stronger brown. Oops. Make my brush a bit smaller. Take that all the way up to the top. And you can see it's exactly the same as I do traditional. I just work my layers, look for the shapes, and just add layers. The difference is with digital you can remove things much easier. If you don't like something, you can just take it out and move it, and it's sorted, which is nice. And I can print these off. I'm selling these as digital prints you can get from my Etsy page, which is linked in my About section. Oops, no, that didn't work. So, yeah, if you want to buy any of these artworks, they will be available as printable downloads for 10 Australian dollars on my Etsy page, which is linked in my linky bits up above. I've made them as affordable as I possibly can for everyone. All right, happy with that, it's getting there. Now I'm going to go with a lighter silvery grey. I'm going to add highlight up here. Highlight comes down onto there. I'm just looking for the lights and darks and the shapes. That. He does have quite a light little reflection-y bit there, and I'm just going to blend that so it doesn't look so hard. It looks more like a natural highlight. Okay, and I'm going to take a brush. I'm going to go back down to that brown there. I'm going to get a different brush, go back to my regular, see that's a straight hairbrush. I'm going to make it a bit bigger, and I'm going to take that, whoops, maybe not like that, maybe make it a bit bigger, and just take that down. Don't like that either, make it less opaque. Down his crest, because you can see he's got, or she's got, pattern coming down. Whoops. So I'll just mark that in like that. Now I'm going to blend a little bit, blending tool. Soften these edges. It's not really a hard colour line. Like that. Blend that right around the edges. All those little marks. Like that. Just soften that all up. There we go. That's looking okay. Hello, Joyce. You can't see those lines. I've got a new med and I'm feeling better. Oh, it's working. Excellent. Yeah, I'm working on the top so you can just see the little cursor. I've got a little cursor that's floating around up there. I've got to try. I can't get an overhead cam because it shows it all goes blurry. So now I'm going to leave the head for a second, the crest, and I'm going to go onto the beak with a darker, almost black. Whoops, I'm going to go back to my soft airbrush. Couldn't see them on the model. No, they're, I know what you mean. There's just a little, if I zoom in, he's got texture coming down. So if I zoom right in, see it's a line effect. I'll go over the top of that. But when you look close, you can see that there's texture coming down. So I just pop that in for the base. I'll add some more lights and stuff in a second. I'm just getting the base sort of layers in. And then I'll go back to my basic brush and I'm going to pop in some of these darks. Yeah, it's very faint and I will blur it out. It's just to give that sort of that texture effect to begin with. Gives me something to focus on, to work around. I'm glad you're feeling better, Joyce. That's really good news. It's horrible when you feel yucky and there's nothing they can do. So this is sort of a charcoaly grey. And then I'll come back down around his beak. I'm just looking for the shapes. Looking for the shapes. Coming back around here. And then down to there. Now I see if I can drag and drop into there. Nope, didn't let me. That's all right. I'll just colour that in. I've tried filming with an overhead cam, but it just strobes too much. These meds are not going to hurt me. I love to watch you paint. Oh, thank you. I love having you here, Joyce. It's lovely to have you here. It's lovely to have a chat. All right, so I'll continue down. I'm just softening the edges now. Softening these edges. So I treat this exactly as if I would treat a traditional painting. I do exactly the same technique, except I've got an undo button, which is really nice. I do like the undo button. I'm going to go all the way back up the top and I'm going to have a look at these greys. I'm going to go this blue grey now up into the top of her beak. I'm just going to smudge that around. I'm going to add a bit more. I sort of jump around a bit. I'm going to add a bit more of this charcoaly dark grey around the iris, around the edge of the eyeball. This is not a true black. This is a sort of a charcoal colour, almost. Take that around the outside edge of the eyeball like that. If you don't like the finished product, you can delete it and start over. Exactly, exactly. And you know what I love how it turns out when you print it. So I really love that I print it out and they turn out gorgeous. So I don't usually have my artwork hanging up in my house, but I have a heap of these. I printed them on glossy photo paper and I've got them hanging around my house and it's so good. So, but I've started up an Etsy page. So all of my artwork is for sale and you just download it as a printable download. Don't like that orange, that's way too bright. So it's a printable download. I've got them at 10 Australian dollars, which is probably about $4 US. And you can just print them onto photo paper and frame them, and they're all A4 sized, so they're easy to print off. And yeah, I just print them onto glossy photo paper and they look fabulous. And I put them in, I go to my dollar store and buy the frames. And it is so lovely. I'm really, really impressed. But yeah, so they're listed in my Etsy store, which is linked above. Now it's going to blend this eye. I love doing eyes. I should zoom in a little bit. Just going to add a little bit of that colour around the eye. He's got a bit more yellow at the bottom of his eye. So they're not just one flat colour. There's lights, and I'm going to go a stronger yellow than that. I'm going to go like that sort of a yellow. Let's have a look. See, he's got that yellow actually all the way around. Then a stronger orange. Let's have a look. There was a bit of orange down there. I'm going to take that up the top, stick that there. And I'm going to take that orange and dab it right round the eyeball. You're not losing a canvas. I love this type of thing. I shall check out your Etsy. Awesome. Yeah, I love digital art. I can get so much more detail. I mean, I enjoy my watercolours. I always wanted to do oil painting, but I did not have the patience. I can't be bothered waiting for stuff to dry. So I'm very bad like that. So this gives me the same kind of effect without the stress of waiting for weeks, and you get an instant artwork. There's no wait time, which I love. These at the zoo never leave, but their eyes are almost 3D. Yes, I go to our Melbourne Zoo. They're wild here up in Queensland. So you go to the top of Australia, and these guys are wild. And if you Google them, they come into the camps and steal your food and do all kinds of fun stuff. They're absolutely magnificent. But I go to our zoo down here in Melbourne, and there's a female one there, and I sit with her and I just draw her. And she comes and stands right next to me, and she has the most beautiful legs. They're prehistoric. They are very prehistoric. They've got like raptor legs. You know, they're like the closest relative. They look like relatives of the velociraptor. They're insane. They're just gorgeous animals, and they're not real big. They're not as big as an ostrich, but they're heavier. Or an emu. Australians have an emu. But they're shorter, but they're stronger, like they're stocky. And their legs, if you Google the legs of these guys, they are insanely gorgeous. And I love dinosaurs, and these guys are like the closest thing to looking at a dinosaur, apart from a crocodile. They're the bird version of a dinosaur. And I absolutely adore them. I think they're my favourite bird on earth. Absolutely my favourite bird. Now I'm just working my way around. I can see he's got yellow. I'm just looking at the little colour shapes now. He's got yellow down here. So I'll block that in. Maybe not that much, but I'll just block that in. I'm using the wrong brush. Not happy with that. Undo it. See, just undo and problem solved. I used to make 8x10 glossies of my granddaughters. Oh, they sound like raptors. Cassowary are very pretty. Cassowary are gorgeous. They are absolutely beautiful creatures. And very, very proud. Oh gosh, that didn't mean to do that. They're very dangerous. Like they can kick. There hasn't been anyone killed since the 1920s, but they have been known to attack people. But yeah, you just don't get within kicking distance. But there's a video. There's a video that was on TikTok the other day, and it went up to a picnic table and stole a person's sandwich out of their hand. But they're like trying not to make eye contact with it because they didn't want to get kicked. I keep trying to drag and drop and it doesn't want to. Yeah, so they didn't make eye contact with it because they didn't want to get kicked, but it was stealing their lunch. But they are magnificent. They are truly magnificent. And that's the beauty of it, yeah, with being able to print it digitally. And you can take it to it, like you can print it. I print them myself on my own printer, my own home printer. I just set it to glossy photograph. And But you can take it to a proper printer and get it done on archival printer paper. But I like the glossy effect too. I love glossy. Now I'm having a look here. I've got to add some light highlights, but I'm going to use like a light blue. I'm not going to go a white. I'm just going to add some light blue around. Like that. A little bit of light on the top. See, I've got the angle of the top of the beak wrong. So I'm actually going to erase the top of the beak a little bit. Get that angle a bit better. A bit more of that highlight there. She's got the highlight coming down on the bottom of the beak, down to that yellow portion, like that. Delete the brush if it doesn't look good? Yes, exactly. Geez, they are very forgiving folks and fearful. Yeah, yeah, yep. Well, these guys are protected. I think they're protected. They only live in one part of Australia, up north. But they are stunning animals. Now, I've just had a look. I'm going to add some more light browns. So I'm going to go back into these browns up at the top of his head here. I'll shrink that down a fraction. I'm going to add some more, just colours up here and just blend it a little bit. No, I'll come back to that. Go back to my darks. I'm going to start to, he's got lots of dark around the bottom of her, or she's got lots of dark around the bottom of her eye. So I'll mark that in. Get the little creasy bits. When you start looking, there's so many tones and colours on these guys. And I really like the texture on their bean page. Absolutely, Dale. You go be by hubby. Family first. Say hi to hubby. All right, come down above the beak there. I'm just zooming in on the different parts. Like that. Oh, see, they've got little feathers. I didn't even notice that. She's got hair on the bottom of her beak. How cool is that? Okay. So I'm just adding little bits of texture. They've got like skin almost, like a little flecks. I'm just going to add that fleck. You won't even see it unless you're looking right up close. It's going to take that line up the front. I can actually get rid of the underdrawing now. I'm just going to delete that underdrawing. So now it's just the colours on the sketch. So now I'm just going to add the front line down the front of the crest. And I'm going to start to work. Oh, actually, I'm going to add a bit more of that light blue around the edge of the beak, a little bit more, and a bit around the nostril, like that. A little bit more there. Just looking at the shapes of the highlights. I'll come right along the length of the beak to about there. All right, shrink him down, have a look. That's looking better. Okay, now I'm going to go onto this blue around the iris and down around there. So I'm going to mark that in and just colour that. Squiggle around the edge like that. I can blend it a little bit, make it bigger so I can see it a bit better. There we go. I'll blend that like that. And then I can also take this blue down, whoops, on the bottom of her beak like that. I'm just going to mark in. I was going to go like, whoops, Daisy, I don't want to make it straight. There we go. So I can see that actually comes, that dark colour comes down pretty much around the whole neck of that bird. So I'm now going to darken up this bottom part. So I'm just taking that line right around that edge like that, and then drag and drop, and that didn't work, but anyway, never bloody works, does it? Make that line a bit thicker, eh? Just if I miss a tiny little bit, it jumps and fills in the rest of the picture. Whoops. I'm still getting used to doing this kind of thing, so. But I enjoy the gutsy colours I can get. I can't get this sort of effect with, doesn't want to work. That's all right. I'm just going to fill it in normal because I give up. I'm just going to do this and fill it in traditionally because why not? I do tend to use a traditional technique. So let's just stick to what I know. I try to use the tricks and it doesn't work. So I'm just going to do traditional technique on digital pad. So, and you can do this with any, I'm using the Procreate app, which is an Apple app, which is very, very, very user-friendly, not sponsored. Very user-friendly. You pay a one-time fee and then you've got the app forever and ever and ever. I've got an old iPad and a new iPad, and I've got my old iPad. I use it on my old iPad as well. And I've also got, there's a new one now, which is the Procreate Dream. So you can do, what's it called? You can do the move, what do they call it? Oh my goodness, the moving, like making movies and stuff. You can make illustrated movies and things. I forgot what it's called. There's a name for it and I've gone completely blank. Whoops. So now I'm going to add this middle sort of tone blue. Take that anywhere I can see that's dark. Just follow those shapes around and I'm going to blend that in. So just blend the edges. Soften that. Like that. Take that right up into his beak. Like that. Having another look. Now he's stronger blue, so that blue still, but I'm going to make it less opaque, so it's a little bit of see-through, because you can see that it sort of comes a lighter blue. Make it a bit bigger, like that. You still see the undercolour. Don't mind having a little bit of texture in there. I'll blend that out. I don't end up with the hard lines, because there aren't hard lines on birds. They're soft and fluffy lines, like that. That gives that sort of almost a watercolour-y effect, doesn't it? Which is quite nice. And now I'll take this same blue. It's quite strong. Make the line a bit smaller down here. And grab make it a bit bigger, then fill that in. I can go over the tops of the red a little bit, and the lines aren't smooth and flat. Just blend those together like that. Soften that outside edge, go all the way around like that. There we go. We're starting to build up. Now. I need to make that red come up a bit higher, so I'm going to go back into that red, make it solid, like more opaque, so it's less see-through. I'm going to take this red, I need to make my brush a bit bigger, take that red more up the neck, like that. There we go. So the more I look, the more I see. Start to see a bit more detail. Now you can see that line going up his neck. Her neck, I keep calling her a him. It's got a real pattern to it. They've got a real textury pattern around the edges of their blue. It's not just a flat line, so I'll take that right around there like that. Now I can add this darker blue up here as well, up into around the edge of the beak. I can see it there. Like that. Take that round that bottom part of her gullet. Down her neck. Like that, and I'll blend. Blend it all the way down. Okay, having a look, I'm happy with that. I'll add the texture over the top at the end. Now I'm going to add this dark blue. I'll keep with this dark blue actually, and I'll add that into the ear hole. like that. And I'll go super dark at the end. I'm just going to blend that out. Blend that out. So soften that with my blending tool. And go back around the top of the eye. I'm just going to do little squiggly motions. So I've got to darken up just around her eye. And then I'll get my little blending tool and carefully blend that. Like that. There we go. And that gives her eye a bit more three-dimensional. Right. Now I'm going to go get one of my other colours. Go get my little dark one. There. It's almost black. Now that I'm looking at that closely, I can see she's got lots of little flecks of dark coming around her ear. I'm going to darken up in the centre of her ear as well, like that. She's got a lot of colour in all these little feathery nodules. So I'm going to add a little bit of dark around there, just little dots around the top of her eye. I'm just tip-tapping all the little dots like that. And now I'm going to start. I'm going to see what other brushes. I'm going to have a look at, I've got, if I look at, what's his name, Ergo, he's got different effects that I can use for dots. He's already pre-done like a dot brush. I want them to be random. More like skin maybe. They're soft skin. We'll have a look at that. No, hang on, I was going to undo that and make it that lighter blue. No, I'm not happy with that, but that's okay. It's actually all right for shading, because I don't want it all one flat blue. Whoops. I haven't got my glove on, so I keep knocking the I don't mind that, but I need it to be a bit more. Let's have a look. Come down here and have a bit more light there, just along that edge. Just going to go over the tops of those bits there. Okay, how am I going to do this? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what effects I can get here. Actually, textures. She's got very definite soft texture. Don't really want to abstract.Maybe charcoal. There's a charcoal brush. Just charcoal does have that grainy sort of effect, but maybe not. I'm just going through and having a look. Organic. Oh, clay might work. A clay effect. Let's have a look. Make it a bit bigger. Now I'll go that sort of darker blue. Oh yeah, that's better. That's all right. That works. Go over the top. That basically is just a clay texture brush. And I'll just colour that on. Go all the places that have that texture that I can see. She's not flat, she's got a lot of texture. I can go thicker in the parts and change the colours as I need to. I'm using that sort of middle tone blue around the neck, like that. Okay, happy with that. Now I'm going to go a stronger blue again. Go back down. Actually, I might even use that really dark, almost purple blue. come down under there, under her darkest darks on her neck, up under her chin, like that. Just add a few little dots around the back of her neck, coming right down onto her feathers on her neck there. All right, let's have a look. Let's zoom in on her face a little bit. Add a little bit around the top of her eye. She's got stronger tones coming around her ear, so I'll actually take that around her ear as well, like that. And add a bit of that dark, just dot it around this part of her neck, like that. Okay, having a quick look at my big screen. It helps me to get a perspective. All right, there we go. So that's pretty good. Now I'm going to go back to my Reiki brush, I'll use the twig brush actually, because I'm going to add this lighter brown, go all the way back up the top, because you can see that she's got, go to the opacity brush, and I'm going to add, you can see she's got like this texture coming around the top of her head where her crest joins onto her skull. Like that. So I'm just going to add that in. Here's where I start to add the finer detail. Like that. You can also use this colour to add a little bit more interest into these colours on her head piece, her head bit. And it's lighter around the top edge. That. So I'm just looking for lights and darks now. Looking for all the little fun bits. Come around here. All right, zoom out and have a look. It's getting there, we're getting better. I'm going to add some darker browns now. Now it was down about 4, there we go, there's my chalky brown down here. I use this sort of chalky brown again on this twiggy brush. I can come in and just add some textures around. Got to add a bit more of that yellowy, like the skin tony one up here, like that. All right, having a look. Right, I can see that actually comes down to the front here a little bit more, like that. Okay, I'm going to blend some of this in her crest, blend out some of those little lines that I had. Trying to figure out, I need it sort of an orangey browny colour. Maybe I'll try this colour, but I'll go back to a soft brush. Actually, I might even go that sably brush. Let's try that and have a look. Oh, that's nice, yeah. And we'll just pop that into the middle. And I'll blend it. Just to add a little bit more of that orange through. Because I can see she's got all different colours in that light brown. It's not just light brown. It has got oranges and yellows, and they're they're vibrant birds. Got amazing colours on them. Okay, that's looking a bit better. Add a bit of that down the front. And then blend it. Like that. All right. Now I've got to go on to her red. I'm going to add this darker red. I'll just do the patterns around. Just do little circles. Because it's all rough. It's all like what turkeys have. They're wobbly bits. Just going to draw just circles and shapes just to create the effect. Doesn't have to be exactly, it's not a photograph. And I might even do that And I like that textured brush, so that's working nicely. I'll add darker up where the neck joins, the feathery bits join the rest of the neck. I'm even going to go back in now with the blue. I'm going to draw in that texture, sight lightly, and take that all the way around. And you can see that other texture through. So it's like drawing scales on a crocodile, and I love drawing scales. So continue on down and around. So I'm just filling in these neck details now. Just doing little circles, just lots of circles. Like that. Come all the way down to the bottom. They're really little on this part of her neck. So I'm just going to draw little tiny circles on this part of her neck. Just little itty bitty ones following the direction of her neck. Like that, just continue on and around, following the shapes. Just following the shapes. Keep it simple, just lots of circles. Continuing on down. Trying to see what time it is. What time is it? Oops. All right. Down here, draw the circles down here. All right, now having a look up here. I'm going to just do dots. As you can see that she's got dot highlights. All her little pin feathers. I'm literally just tapping and drawing the little dots and following the angles that I can see. Then they sort of run on a slight diagonal. So I'll just touch those in. I've given up on trying to use effects because it doesn't work. All right, hello Toadie, how are you, doll? So I'm just drawing these little dots in. How are you going, doll? Drawing my very favouriteest bird ever, the cassowary. These guys are as close to dinosaurs as you're going to get in a bird. So I'm just going to continue on around that edge. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. That's actually turned out pretty okay. Okay, he's going okay, Toadie. I'm really good, doing great. Just got home from dinner with some friends. Oh, nice. Lovely. What'd you have for dinner? Whoops, hit the wrong button. Go back to that orange. Take that up. Oh, no, I've got it there. And then I'm just going to run around there with that orange. Now I'm going to do the glossy feathers on her back and her chest. So I'm going to go in with this sort of bluey grey. And actually I'm going to go back to, I'm going to get, where's my rake brush? Go back to my brushes, go back to recents. And it's not there. Okay, so I've got to go back to, I don't know how to make my own palette of brushes. There's a place by my house that every Wednesday does half-price burgers, yum, beer and appetizers from 6 to 10, and they're delicious. So we usually try to go every other week. Oh, nice, as a group. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. We usually have, our pub has half-price parmas, chicken parma, and that's very yummy. I do love a parma. I'm actually going to add, I'm going to go, it's going to zoom in on me. Where's my picture? No, there we go. Got to zoom in, make it bigger. There we go. I just want to see his feathers. I'm going to have to go a light colour. I'm going to make it a bigger brush. Ooh, not that big maybe. Until my meter run out. It's your weekly social. Nice. Oh, no, that's way too bright, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to drop the opacity. See how that goes. That is way too bright. Okay, let's not do that. Just undo all that. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I'm going to get rid of that brush. I'm going to go back to my regulars, recents, back to twig. And I'm going to not have it that bright. Lose the opacity. There we go, that's a bit better. Just a matter of finding the balance. He does have, or she does have, highlights on her beautiful black glossy feathers. I'll make it a bit bigger and less opaque. So it's more subtle. There we go. Just want it to be a little bit more subtle. Come down and around her body. I'll add black over the top of this as well. So you'll see the highlights through. There we go. I'll drop her back down into the doodah, into the frame. I've spent the last 2 days off purging. I took out 3 bags of stuff to the dump and the 3 large moving boxes of crap that has just been taking up space in my closet and storage. Wow, you're efficient. I need to do that. I need to go through all of my things because I've got like my dad's books. My dad's been gone for 10 years. I've got all my stuff. I've got my husband's stuff. I've got so much stuff that I just need to go through. I need to do that. You need to come to Australia and go through all my stuff for me and get rid of it all. And of course, recycled. What could I base? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. One must recycle. We have a big dump that we can recycle. We just put everything into separate piles and they dispose of it all in the different ways, which is really handy. Now I'm going to add some blue because he's not just a flat black. Their feathers are like a really deep blue almost. So I'm just going to add a few colours over the top, still using this same brush, this same sort of, I forgot what it's called now. What's it called? My twig brush, because it gives a broken line. I haven't touched it, needed in about 3 to 6 months. It goes into, yeah, my husband has a 10-year rule. If he hasn't touched it in 10 years, then it's allowed to go. Needless to say, if he touches it, but then it gets to the 10 years and he touches it and he has to keep it again for another 10 years. So we're going to be dead with half our stuff. As you do. I'm just going over the top now because those highlights are quite bluey and subtle. There we go. See that? I'm just using that twiggy brush. And then, sounds like my sister. Yeah, it's just, oh, I've got so much stuff. And we're on a farm, so we've got even more places to keep stuff, which is a great thing and a bad thing all at once. Because, yeah, we've got a bottomless, limitless amount of space. We've got 20 acres to keep stuff and sheds galore. So it's almost impossible to, like, yeah, no. It's almost impossible to get rid of any of it. It'd be fun, though, to go through it because there's probably stuff that I haven't seen in 500 years because that's how old I am. Probably stuff that's like 500 years old out there and 20 acres. Holy shit. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But love it. Love it, love it. Now I'm just adding the darks now. Whoops. You can see I've gone through, you can see the lighter blues and it's going to shrink him down. See the lighter blues and stuff. I'm just going to, I don't want it to be solid dark, that's all. Nothing's ever solid dark. It's creating that effect. Didn't even sort through most of it. Oh, that's okay. There's, you know, you've got the rest of your life, mate. The rest of your life, Dale. I've got to go through all of my cupboards. I want to gut my kitchen. I want to gut my hall cupboards. I've got massive hall cupboards. That there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full-length roof-to-floor cupboards that are just filled with bed linen and tea towels and just stuff that I've got to go through. And my bedroom cupboards. I have clothes from the 80s, mate, Toadie. I have clothes from 1982. My friend came to me because she wanted to go to a fancy dress party and she wanted to borrow my actual clothes. So there you go. How's that for special? And she went to a fancy dress and I think she actually did really well with it. Send me your floor plan. My sister can design you all new cabinets for your whole house. Oh my God, I would love that. I would love that. Well, we've got to rebuild our kitchen. Our kitchen's a mess. Our kitchen's 30 years old, so we need to do a new kitchen. It's falling apart. So I'm just going to add some highlight. Oh, that's not the highlight. I'm just going to add some highlights back in. I've got to add some bright whites. That is not a bright white. I need a bright white. Where's a bright white? That looks like a bright white. And I'm going to go back to a soft brush. I have my soft basic brush. There we go. Why aren't you? Oh, because I haven't got the opacity up, that's why. And now I'm just going to add in some highlight dots. What brush am I using? The twig. That works well. My sister is one of the top kitchen designers for diamond kitchens in the US. Oh, wow. Top 10, I believe. Wow, that's exciting. You were born in 1990? Oh, yeah. My daughter, my eldest, was not born in 1995 and my youngest was born in 1998. And I was a 1970 baby. And I've got my twin sister. My twin sister and I both, not well, obviously 1970 babies. Great music in the 70s, got to say. 70s was good. Whoops, I just need to soften that a little bit. I like the brush effect, but I need it to be a bit thinner than that. There we go. Just adding the bright whites. So what time is it where you are, doll? It's got to be late. Just going to add a few little bright highlights around the top of that ear bit. There we go. He's looking all right. We're getting there. Add a few little lighter flecks around. I can see them on his back. 9:20 p.m. Oh, not too bad at all. Not too bad at all, doll. Thought it'd be way later. Now I've got to do a background and I want to give him a soft, leafy background. So this is scary. So I'm going to go next layer. This is where I wreck it. But see, if it was watercolour, I'd be panicking right now because I quite like the picture. But I'd be panicking because I'd be thinking, oh my God, I'm going to wreck it. So I'm going to go on the third layer. And now I've actually got cheeky deeky. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go, what am I going to do? I'm going to go soft airbrush. Airbrush. Where's my airbrushes? Airbrushes. Here, airbrush, 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 airbrush. And go soft brush. Done. Make it really big, but not solid coloured. And I'm going to drop it down here. But I'm still going to stay on that layer and I'm going to draw in some darker greens because you can see he's got super darky greens. Super dark greens. Maybe not that big. Oh, okay, it's not the right brush. I haven't changed brushes. Soft brush, yes. Why are you... Oh, there we go. There we go. And I'm going to add some of these darker greens. You can see. Like that. And that just blends in that background. Okay, now I'm going to go even darker. Up the top here. Like that. You can see everywhere that it's got the really darky darks. Ooh. Like that. Just keep that all modelly and comes up under there. Like that. Keep it soft and I'm going to blend. Make my doodah, my blendy bit bigger. Just blend that all out. And I can go over bird because I've put that layer to the back so it sort of leaves the top like it's masked. Okay, go back down to the darker colour again and blend that. Doesn't that look okay? It looks all right. I'm happy with that. Okay, now I'm going to, I actually have a leaf brush. Let's try that. I have never tried it. So we're going to go, if I go to my leaves, my floral brushes, let's have a look. Well, none of those are going to work because that's just all grass and stuff. So none of that's going to work. What else have we got? I'm sure I had a leafy sort of a brush. There's all different grassy bits. I can make the leaves because they're jaggedy like a fern. Thank you for the sub, Tuco. Thank you. Welcome. I'm going to try and find. So I had to look right over. I couldn't see. But thank you for the sub, doll. Much appreciated. I'm trying to find the leaves. Where's the leaves? So, tropical. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Do I have a fern? Oh, I have a fern. Hang on. I'm going to make it really big. I'm going to make it. That sort of works. Sort of. No, maybe not. No, I don't like that. No, I'm better off doing my own thing. No worries. Are you using default brushes? I actually have this brush here. I got a tropical set and I haven't used it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to go back to just using my own. I have used default brushes for a lot of this. But I'm actually going to go back to just, I'll show you the ones I've been using. I'll go back to my recents. Forget that one. Clear that one off. So I've been using the basic brush, sable, twig, and the soft air. So the clays in textures. The Ergo, I did buy an Ergo Josh. He's a beautiful artist. So I bought Ergo Josh's set, which has got these hair kind of brushes in them, which is really handy for animals and things. So I have used the Ergo brush, but everything else is default pretty much. So now I'm going to go back to, I'm going to have a look for something that I can use to make these fern leaves. So I'll just go back to my traditional, like the ones that came with the thingy and have a look. So actually charcoal might be a better bet to make these softer edged. Go to a willow charcoal and I'm going to go to a light green and I'm going to go low opacity because I just want to just be able to see it. Make it a bit bigger, a bit thicker. Why is that not? What have I done? Why is that charcoal not showing? Oh, have I got it on the wrong layer? No, I've got it on the right layer. Why is it not? Maybe I have to go back to layer 2. Let's have a look. No? What's it doing? What have I done? Maybe the opacity was just too low. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see. I've got it way too big. Okay, drop that a bit. Drop the opacity. Just add those effects. So this is just a willow charcoal. I'm just adding that sort of in the background in the distance. So it'll give the effect of leaves. We have all Ergo sets. I love Ergo Josh. He is fantastic. Yeah, I love the Ergo brushes. So now I'm just adding this texture. I love the hair brushes because I do a lot of wildlife. And they're just really, really handy. And I'm going to add some more green. I'm going to go a darker green. Whoops, days. Go back up here and have a look. I need a stronger limey green. Maybe that green. Let's have a look. As you can see, there are sort of highlighty bits. Not all over, but it just allows a little bit of... Will this be available to watch later? Yeah, absolutely, Dale. Absolutely. I'm going to be leaving it up. It'll be in my live stream section on YouTube. And I might even make it into a time lapse. So it's on Twitch and on YouTube. But yeah, absolutely, Dale. Absolutely. I'm going to take that leafy sort of pattern down. So it's just texture. It's just giving the illusion. I've got to soften that a bit. So I'm going to get my blending tool and I'm just going to go over the top of that and just soften that. And then it creates like, it's almost like a light effect, but it still gives you that leaves in the distance. So I'm quite happy. I just discovered Tim Pond and John Muir Laws. Ooh, I haven't heard of either of those. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check them out, Dale. Because I'm very new to iPad art. Now I'm going to add some stone texture down the bottom because they look, I'm going to go to, I'll stay with willow charcoal, but I'll make it big, really big. Just because you can see down the bottom there's a bit of a lighter texture. Go a bit more opaque, like that. Got a bunch of their books now. I need to figure out how to use Procreate for their stuff. Ooh, cool. Cool, cool. Have you been using Procreate for long? I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it. It is just so handy and so user-friendly, like super user-friendly. Just going to blend out those colours now. So it's just the effect of the background. I just want it to create, so he sort of pops out as if he's got something behind him. Both those guys are traditional naturalists, so sounds like right up your alley. Sounds awesome. Natalie, hello Jennifer, just saw you were on live. Thought I'd hang out for a bit before Michael goes live. Yes, absolutely. I was just watching the clock because I will be going. I'll be stopping and watching Michael too. So I actually should do a shout out. He's starting at 2, so about half an hour, isn't he? I'm about a year into it. Oh, cool, awesome. Yeah, so I'm very new to it, but I absolutely love it. Absolutely loving it. And it's lovely to see you, Natalie. So yeah, so this is a cassowary. This is my favourite bird. These guys are just absolutely phenomenal. There's one at our zoo that I go and sit with, and I paint her quite often. And she comes up and stands next to me when I'm sitting there drawing her. I'm just going to add a bit of this yellowy green. John Muir-Laws does wonderful nature journals. See, I love plants and stuff as well. I'm not very good at them. I'm more of an animal wildlife person. But I love leaves. I just love leaves. And I did do a lot of watercolour, but I found digital. It's sort of like, oh gosh, it's really hard to go back because I can get the real juicy colours that I just can't achieve with my watercolour. I love watercolour, but yeah, I can just achieve so much more with this. I'm just having a look. I'm going to see if I can, and I can do this. Can I hover in on it? I'm trying to hover in on that colour to see what. So that's a real skin tone almost. So I've got to go skin tone for in there. Oh, that's the wrong doodah. Go back to I'll stay with my willow. Actually, I'll stay with my willow charcoal. Keep it little and add some more of that around the edges. And I do like an undo button, I must say. John Muir does. Oh yes, cool. You can do stuff digital. You can do stuff digital. You can't with traditional, but digital puts you in a different mindset. Yes, I find I am braver because I know I can undo it. Like I know I can undo, and I have to say, like the paper I buy, the books are for 12 pages is $50 Australian, so it's quite expensive. Where this, okay, you've got the outlay of your iPad, but I just print it on photo paper. When I'm done, I print these all off onto photograph paper and hang them up. You can take them to a proper printer and have them done so that they are archival. I'm not sure how archival photo paper. I mean, I've got photos that have been hanging for 20 years in my lounge room, so no reason why these shouldn't last 20 years. But you can take them to a proper printer, and have them archivally done. I've always intended to learn digital on my iPad, but have never devoted the time to learn it. You know what? If you've got Procreate, it is so user-friendly. So user-friendly. It is really simple. Really simple. I think I watched one tutorial and at the beginning, and then I just treat it traditional. Like I treat it pretty much the same as I would. I use all the same techniques as I do with watercolour. I start light, I work my way from light to dark. How big is this bird in real life? Probably, she'd be as tall as me. She'd be 5'11" at the head, nearly 6 foot at the head, standing tall. but she's really stocky. Like our emus can be about 7 feet tall. So, yeah, but she'd be nearly 6 feet. So, and they're stocky. They're really strong though. Like if you Google a cassowary's legs, how their legs are like dinosaurs. They're just stunning. They're absolutely magnificent. You pat it around with Procreate. Cool. It is so user friendly. My daughter uses Photoshop. I look at her using Photoshop and I can't even begin to understand. That's a big bird. Which bird family? I need to Google which bird family. I don't know, but I'm gonna Google. I just know she's a cassowary. Bird family. I'm Googling cassowary. She is cassowary. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Hang on. Okay, so, she's an emuary. So they're from the emu family. Yep, so 4 surviving members of 3 species of cassowary are the emu. Well, we've got the emu and the cassowary, and they do have them in New Guinea, but they're a slightly different look. But they are beautiful. We have them up in Queensland. P.S. Photoshop is for the young kids, not the us old farts. How? Yes. Oh, yay, fellow old fart. Yay, fellow old fart. But these guys are much stronger than the emu. Emus are fast and they're quite, like they sort of narrow out. When they're running, they go quite sleek. With these guys are just lumpy chunks. But they can run pretty fast. I think they can go about 50 kilometres an hour. Where the emus, they'll outrun your car. They're amazing. We get a lot of emus around here. We've got a ton of kangaroos, a bazillion kangaroos. We're shooing kangaroos off every other day because they come up and eat everything. And my dogs aren't fans of them. But now I saw before this guy has little hairs, or this girl, it's a girl one, has little hairs under her chin. So I'm just going to pop her little hairs under her beak, under here. Very fine little dots. Sounds similar to an ostrich. Yeah, they are. They are. I don't know. These guys are just more dinosaur-like. They really are. Have a look. Google the legs. You will be so amazed at the strength of these birds and the characteristics of them. They are just like, they're not like anything you've ever seen. They are truly magnificent. Truly magnificent. But yeah, I'm a watercolourist first and a drawer first, but I love digital now. The plumage is like formula type. It is very much. Very much. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of this light now. I'm going to take it back up. Pop some little highlighty bits on here. And I tend to use, I use a traditional style. So this is how many layers have I got? I've got 3 layers. So I've got the base drawing, then I've got the background, and then I've got the bird. So I only work on 3 layers max. Muir does have a YouTube page if you want tips and tricks. Ooh, okay, so hang on. I'm going to write his name down. So, where do I see it? Muir. John Muir. Okay, John Muir Laws. Hang on, I'm going to write that down. Where's my pens? I'm an artist, and I've got a room full of pens, and can I find one? Oh, there we go. There's a pen. And where's a bit of paper? There we go. Bit of paper? Oh, my gosh. Spinning around, looking everywhere. Oh, there's a bit of paper. I'll write in that. Oh, I just dropped my thing. So, John. Was it John? Whoops, not on that page. John. Muir Laws. Muir Laws. Who was the other dude? Lost it. Scrolling down. Cool. Oh, I can't draw with my real pen. Trying to draw with my real pen. Not going to happen. I'm going to add some really super duper highlights around the top of his eyes. Having another, now I'm looking around, I'm sort of looking for finishy touches. I don't like that. See, I've done that, I don't like it. Let's have a look. Looking at the big screen. Oh, Tim Pond, cool. I think I was on the John Muir Law's webpage last week and he offers online classes too. Ooh. Okay, Tim Pond. Tim Pond. Let's writing these down. Thank you, mate. Tim Pond. I shall be Googling these dudes when I am done, but I'll be going off because what time is it now? It is 1:37, so shortly I'll be going off because one of our friends, who I will shout out, who's also on here, who's a beautiful watercolourist. I'm going to shout out Michael. How do I, hang on, I've got to bring up my other screen. And I'm going to go over here, go Twitch. Just bear with me a second. Twitch. Oops. Twitch. Bring Michael, whoops, the daisy. I've got, oh, hang on, I don't have to do that, do I? Do I? Uh-oh, what have I done? I've lost my thing. Hang on. Just bear with me a second. Twitch. Twitch. If it'll let me do it, I've got to bring up Michael's. Hang on. Michael. Watercolours with Michael. That's the one. And then I go, oh, okay, I just go back here. Go to me. My channel, create a dashboard. Sorry, doll, I'm just getting back here. Stream manager. Got to do all the things. I'm figuring it out. And then I go watercolours Michael. Shout out. Watercolours Michael. You get a chance. He does beautiful watercolours. He's also on YouTube. Did that work? That didn't work. Why didn't that work? But anyway, follow this dude. Unless I've spelled it wrong. WaterColor. Or is it watercolour? Hang on, we'll try that. / Shout out. No, line dot. Watercolour. Watercolour. Michael. See if that works. No, I don't know why my doodar's not working now. But anyway, story of my life. None of my bits work, but that's okay. Okay. But yes, so I'll actually be doing, going to be doing a stream with Michael. He's going to do a traditional and I'm going to do digital, and we'll probably both draw birds, I think. We both love our birds. So it'll be a bit of fun. So anyone on here, if you don't follow Michael, he's about to go live on YouTube in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So now I'm just going to have a quick look. I'm just having a quick look. I'm going to do a little bit of dark. This is a very dark navy blue almost. And I'm just going to do some stoppy-starty lines under the beak. Just want little broken lines around. I don't want any hard lines. Just to create a little bit more natural. That'll be fun to watch. It's wonderful to watch. He's a lovely fella, really entertaining. If you love birds, Muir will definitely be your guy. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, I do. I absolutely adore my birds. I've got, like, I'm on a farm here and we've got so many cockatoos, rosellas, galahs. I feed them. I buy native feed mix and give them seed and stuff. And because we're in summer now and it's so bloody hot, I've been giving them all water as well. So we get, every day we get about 150 finches, about 50 cockatoos. We get rosellas and rainbow lorikeets, which are absolutely stunning. So I just sit there and watch them all afternoon. I just go outside and I sit there with my cup of tea and my camera and I just take endless photos of these gorgeous little birds. I adore them. Absolutely adore them. They're just magical. And they're getting to know me now so they don't fly away when I'm out there. So I've been going to do a stream. I've got to figure out how to do a stream outside, sitting with the birds. Did you get that all worked out with Michael? That'll be fun. I haven't yet. No, I haven't yet. I checked my messages the other day and I haven't seen anything, but families, we've all got families and it's been crazy. We had a weekend of 40 degrees Celsius, which is about 110 Fahrenheit. So we had a disgustingly hot weekend. So I checked my messages on Sunday, which is my Sunday, which is a day ahead of you guys. So it would have been Saturday. You're in a bird park. Pretty life belt. We've got kangaroos, wombats, echidnas, every kind of bird you can imagine. Snakes, possums, you name it, we got it, which is lovely. yeah, the cockatoos and that are getting tame to me now. Like they let me go. I can't touch them obviously, but I can get near them. My sister has a couple of squirrels who will take her food from her hand. Oh my God. I love squirrels. We don't have them here, but I love the look of them. My son-in-law's Canadian, and he's always telling me about squirrels and chipmunks. So I'm just adding the final darkest darks in that now. Just the final dark darks. We're just about done. Live in naturalist heaven? Yes. And if you go out the back of my place, we're at the base of a mountain range, and we've got like a rainforest, or not, it's not a rainforest technically, but we've got ferns and things. We have a tree it's called a grass tree. And they're thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. And we have this fern, and this fern is the size of my house. It's one fern, and it's just so massive. It's got to be thousands of years old. Can't scare me with hot temps. I live in Arizona. Yeah, no, you do. You do really hot. I can't do, yeah, no, I'd shrivel up and die. You had over 100 days, over 100. Yeah, no, yuck. Yuck, yuck. Yeah, we usually get that just in summer. So we only get 30 days of it. We don't get 100 days of it. But yeah, I shrivel up and die when it gets that hot. I'm not graceful. Like some people, they get all sooky la la and whingy when it's cold. No, I get really whingy when it's hot. Yeah, no, I couldn't do it. I'd love to move to a colder climate. Up north is like that. Up Queensland's like that here. So I reckon he's just about done, you know. I reckon that's just about done. So I'm going to sign him. I'm going to go back to my recents, that is my recents. Okay, go back to my recents, grab my normal brush, and I'm going to just do my signature in a darker green down the bottom here. J. So you'll just barely be able to see it. Put the year 2025, and I am going to call that done, peeps. I live in Washington State. I would die in that kind of heat. Yeah, no, I just shrivel up. I get in the pool every day when it's hot. Yeah, I just can't go outside. I sit under the pergola, but we've got an evaporative air conditioner out the back, like under our veranda. We've got a veranda the length of the house because we're outdoor people. We love outdoors. But, yeah, we sit out the back a lot. But I've got the evaporative, so it blows cold air. But, yeah, we have a pool too. I do spend a lot of time in the pool, I have to say. But I'm looking forward to winter. I like winter. I'm very much a winter person. But on that note, I am going to call that done. Now, this will be, I'm going to upload this to my Etsy site after stream. I have all of my their download printables, $10 each Australian, so it's probably about $4 American. So you can buy them and you just print them onto photo paper. So just glossy, high gloss, pop them under, they're A4 size, so you can buy a standard frame from your dollar store, pop them in there. I've been doing that with mine. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving having these because I've printed out a few myself and they come out as beautiful as they are. Like they look lovely on the art screen here, but they print out just as lovely. So my link to my Etsy is up above in my thingy thing up there, my about section. And it's also attached to my links on my YouTube. So I'm going to love and leave yous, and we're going to find someone to raid, and then we're going to hang out with Mr. Michael. So I'm just going to get on my other iPad over here. I'm going to see who's on Twitch, and let's go raid someone. And then we're going to go and hang out with the lovely Michael, because I don't think he streams to, I think he streams to YouTube. So who have we got on? I'm going to try and find another artist. Who have we got? Got? No one's doing art. Oh. Actually, we're going to go and raid Casey Snow. So, I'm going to go. I will see you over there. I'll see you at Michael's stream, Natalie. Woo!
Looks like he has raid something.
I will see you at... Oh, she's finishing up, maybe. Yep, she's finishing up. Let's not go to Casey. She's just finishing up her stream as we speak. So that's not happening. Who else have we got? Paintera. Let's have a look. What's Paintera doing? Oh, she's doing a skull. Do we want to... Yeah, let's go raid Paintera then. Let's go raid Paintera. So /. Hang on, I need to go to my other screen. That one. I think I'd get better at this, wouldn't you? But I don't. So then I go / Braid. Paintera. How do I spell her name? Paintera. She's another Australian, but she does beautiful pen work. Paintera Studios. So I would love it if you would come across with me. I hope my doodah works. We're going to give it a go anywho. Okay, I will see you over there. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you over at Michael's stream on YouTube. But I'll hang out with Paintera for a little bit. Okay, have a great one, guys. Thank you.